Hi, Alan Schimmel, DevOps.com, and we're joined now with Paula Thrasher from CSC, who's presenting at DevOps Enterprise Summit 2015 about some of her experiences in the federal government. Welcome, Paula.
Oh, thank you.
So, Paula, you know, we're here hearing about all these big enterprises that are adopting DevOps, and certainly the federal government and the federal marketplace is not being left behind. They're, in many ways at the forefront of this, and I know you have some stories to tell about it, some lessons learned. Why don't you give our viewers a little preview?
Yeah, I'm really excited to be giving a kind of an experience report at this conference about some of the things that I've learned in sort of 15 years of working with the federal government and Agile and DevOps. And for me, my journey kind of was as a software developer. I did a lot of Agile, kind of under the radar in the federal government. I mean, I think I was very lucky that I was able to get away with things before it was official. And the transformation that I really made was I became an IT director of a small business, and then I was supporting Agile teams, and I realized that when the shoe was on the other foot, I realized all the things that I disliked IT couldn't do for me. When I was the IT person, I all of a sudden realized why IT was saying no all the time. And I started to have some really good conversations with my new counterparts on the application side about how we could really help them do better. And that was kind of this eye-opening experience for me. And I had a really good opportunity after that to go to 3 other federal agencies and help them have that same kind of realization, and have had some good success, I think, because I suddenly stopped just being about software and started realizing that there's a lot more to delivering things in the federal government than just the world of writing code.
Sure. So Paula, can you give us, and obviously we're not naming names of the agencies, but what was their pushback on kind of moving to this DevOps mentality or DevOps patterns?
I mean, it's huge, right? And I think one of the challenges, I mean, I would say this is unique to the federal government, but I'm sure it's true of actually a lot of organizations, is that there's a lot of entrenched interest in funding and roles and jobs in doing it the way, it's an organization that's designed to do process the way we're supposed to, a certain way. And it's very threatening to people, especially, I remember one of the agencies, even though there was clearly massive IT issues at this agency, which is why they had brought us in to do this transformation, the person that ran the change control board was not happy when we proved that we could successfully deploy an error-free deployment automatically using code when, his process, which actually I had the metrics, failed 5 out of 6 times to successfully deploy.
But it was his.
Right. And he owned it. And I think that's the difference that, culturally, you're probably, there's somebody who owns it, and that's true in any organization. And it was not a technology problem. It's never a technology problem. I mean, it is. There's some tools.
No, but it wasn't.
It's a people problem.
In this case, it was a people problem.
It's
it was a turf war.
And I think it's, the pattern I've seen is that, Agile is sort of like people, process, tools, and in that order. And it's the people part that everybody leaves out. And I think that's been the key, was realizing somewhere along the way that it wasn't my job to write amazing software. It was my job to figure out how to get people to accept the amazing things we could do with it.
Yeah. And that is sort of what, we have such a cultural bias with DevOps, where if Agile is people, tools, software, DevOps starts with culture.
Right.
And ends with culture too, for that matter. Paul, is this your first year at DevOps Enterprise, or were you here last year?
This is my first year at DevOps Enterprise.
So what's been your impression?
I think the thing that's really the coolest about this conference is the people at it. I mean, it's really, it's a little bit maybe group therapy, like you're sort of in this world of kind of doing something that is a little radical, and so it's really great to talk to the people that are going through the same kinds of experiences you are. I also think that it's really great just getting other ideas and lots of just like, oh gosh, that's great, I should really think about that, and really jazzed to kind of be part of this community and just kind of hear what other people are doing and exchange ideas. It's amazing. I don't know any other forum where you get to kind of, just share what you do and learn from others. It's kind of like, I think I said before we had a promo event, it's like getting a degree in DevOps.
yeah. Well, the DevOps Institute. But anyway, Paula Thrasher, thank you for joining with us. I hope, I'm sure your session will be fantastic. We'll be able to see it. If you're not lucky enough to be here at DevOps Enterprise, it'll, like all sessions, they will be made available. And good luck in continuing on your mission of bringing DevOps to the federal marketplace,
All right, thank
to
you.
the federal government. Thank you. This is Alan Schimmel of DevOps.com.